The Galactic Council, despite its vast knowledge and dominion over countless star systems, had always underestimated humanity. This arrogance stemmed from an early observation. Humans, though resourceful, seemed technologically primitive. Their weapons, by galactic standards, were outdated relics of warfare, ballistics and chemical explosives rather than energy-based weapons. In their hubris, the Council had assumed that this reliance on old technology meant humans were backward and slow to evolve. But the galaxy was about to learn a lesson drenched in fire, steel, and the unyielding determination of a species bred by adversity.
It began with a minor border skirmish.
The Quorath Dominion, an aggressive expansionist empire, had annexed a cluster of human colonies near the Perseus Arm. Expecting swift compliance, the Dominion sent a fleet to occupy the planets, intending to integrate humanity as another subservient species within their empire.
But the Quorath fleet never returned.
Weeks later, another fleet, double the size of the first, was dispatched. It, too, vanished without a trace. Concerned by the pattern, the Dominion petitioned the Galactic Council to mediate. This was when the Council stepped in, demanding an explanation from humanity. What they received was a single message, broadcast across the galactic network. ***, the fleets were warned.
They chose to ignore the warnings.
Let that be the last mistake they make. ***. The Council, bewildered, demanded further clarification. Instead, they were met with silence. When no further communication came, the Council authorized an investigation. What they discovered shook the very foundation of galactic military doctrine. The missing fleets had been systematically dismantled, their wreckage drifting in orbit around the contested colonies. The humans had employed tactics that defied galactic norms, ambushes, unconventional strategies, and a level of precision that suggested they were not only prepared for war but had been expecting it. The Quorath, despite their advanced energy shields and plasma weapons, had been outmaneuvered by humanity's seemingly primitive arsenal. But the real shock came when the investigators analyzed the remnants of the human ships involved in the conflict. The vessels were equipped with railguns, missiles, and projectiles, technology that should have been rendered obsolete millennia ago. Yet, in human hands, these weapons proved devastatingly effective. Railgun slugs bypassed energy shields entirely, their sheer kinetic force ripping through hulls. Missiles, equipped with advanced targeting systems, exploited blind spots in the Dominion's defenses. For the first time in centuries, the Galactic Council realized the limits of their understanding. Humanity's so-called outdated weapons weren't a sign of stagnation but a deliberate choice. The humans had perfected the art of warfare in ways the galaxy had never imagined. Their technology was simple, efficient, and most importantly, deadly. This revelation sparked a heated debate within the Council. Some argued for immediate diplomacy, fearing what might happen if humanity's wrath was provoked further. Others, blinded by pride, insisted on retaliation. In the end, the latter group prevailed, and a coalition fleet, one of the largest ever assembled, was dispatched to Earth to demand reparations and submission. The fleet arrived in the Sol system, bristling with weaponry and confidence. Once again, a single human message was broadcast. ***, we do not seek war, but we will not run from it. Turn back while you can. ***. The coalition, emboldened by their numbers and technology, ignored the warning. They advanced toward Earth, their ships forming an impenetrable wall of firepower. And then humanity responded. The battle that followed would be studied for generations. Human ships, though vastly outnumbered, danced through the enemy fleet with unparalleled precision. They exploited every weakness, every misstep. Their railguns tore through capital ships, while their fighters, small, agile crafts armed with guided missiles, hunted down enemy bombers. But it wasn't just the technology that turned the tide, it was the humans themselves. Their tactics were unpredictable, their strategies evolving mid-battle in ways no AI or algorithm could replicate. Within hours, the coalition fleet was in disarray. Entire squadrons were wiped out, and their flagship, a massive dreadnought, was obliterated in a single, well-coordinated strike. The survivors, battered and humiliated, retreated, leaving Earth untouched. In the aftermath, the Galactic Council convened an emergency session. Humanity, once considered a minor player in the galactic stage, had proven itself a force to be reckoned with. The Council officially recognized humanity as a sovereign power, offering treaties and alliances to ensure peace. But among the whispers in the dark corners of the galaxy, one sentiment prevailed. Humanity was not to be trifled with. Their so-called outdated weapons had shattered the illusion of galactic superiority, proving that sometimes simplicity and ingenuity could triumph over arrogance and complacency. And so, the galaxy learned to tread carefully around the death wilderness of Earth. For while they spoke of peace, the memory of their ferocity in battle remained a stark reminder of what they were capable of. In the vast expanse of the galaxy, the name humanity had become synonymous with resilience, adaptability, and unyielding determination. Among the myriad species of the Galactic Federation, humans were both admired and feared for their capacity to thrive in adversity and transform the impossible into the achievable. But it wasn't their technology, their diplomacy, or even their strange ability to survive on death worlds that sent chills through alien leaders. It was their warriors. When the Federation first encountered humanity, their military forces seemed almost laughably small. Other species fielded fleets of millions and armies that could blanket entire planets. By comparison, humanity's forces were modest in scale, with strange divisions bearing cryptic titles: infantry, marines, rangers. And then there were the special forces. At first, the term was dismissed as a marketing ploy. After all, how special could a soldier be when the regular human warriors already demonstrated feats bordering on the supernatural? These regulars were a terrifying enigma. They fought in environments that would cripple other species, operated with stunning cohesion under extreme stress, and adapted to enemy strategies with alarming speed. Their tenacity in battle was legendary. They fought not just to win, but to ensure the survival of their comrades and the mission. The turning point came during the Sorgathy incursion. The Sorgathy, a predatory race known for their savage invasions, targeted the human colony on Cerulean 7. The Galactic Council dispatched aid, but they underestimated both the Sorgathy's ferocity and humanity's response. When the alien fleets descended on the colony, the human defenders, outnumbered 50-1, didn't retreat. Instead, they held the line with tactics so ruthless and precise that even seasoned council strategists were left speechless. But the true shock came when the humans deployed their special forces. The Federation observers had assumed that special forces were merely elite soldiers, perhaps with advanced training or superior equipment. What they hadn't anticipated was the sheer, calculated efficiency of these operatives. They moved like shadows, slipping behind enemy lines and dismantling the Sorgathy war machine with surgical precision. Their weapons were not the massive plasma cannons or advanced neural disruptors favored by other species, but simple tools: blades, rifles, explosives. And yet, in their hands, these became instruments of utter devastation. One observer described a single Special Forces operative clearing an entire Sorgathy command bunker without backup. When asked how, the operative shrugged. "We train for this." To the Federation, it was as if they had witnessed a myth brought to life. The aftermath of the battle left the Galactic Council in awe. The Sorgathy were not just defeated, they were shattered, forced into an unconditional retreat. The humans had lost a fraction of their forces, yet their victory had been absolute. In the debriefings that followed, the question arose: if these were humanity's special warriors, what did that say about their regular forces? The answer came during a closed-door session with a human general. "The term special forces isn't about equipment or even training," the general explained. "It's about mentality. These are the ones we send when the odds are impossible, when failure isn't an option. Our regulars are scary because they're good. Our specials? They're terrifying because they don't understand the concept of defeat." The room fell silent. The Federation representatives exchanged uneasy glances, grappling with the implications. Humanity, it seemed, was a species that thrived on adversity. Their warriors weren't just soldiers. They were problem solvers, innovators, and above all, survivors. Over the years, the legend of humanity's special forces grew. Stories spread of impossible missions, of operatives who turned certain death into resounding victory. The galaxy learned to tread carefully around humanity, for while their diplomats spoke of peace and cooperation, everyone knew that behind them stood warriors capable of reshaping the stars themselves. In the end, it wasn't humanity's weapons, ships, or technology that secured their place among the stars. It was their unshakable resolve, embodied in their warriors, both regular and special. The galaxy had learned one undeniable truth. When humanity fought, they fought to win, and they never fought alone. The Coalition fleet limped back to their respective territories, their defeat at the hands of humanity a bitter pill to swallow. Among the survivors, the tales of Earth's defenders spread like wildfire. Soldiers spoke of human pilots maneuvering their ships like extensions of their own bodies, captains outthinking their alien adversaries with terrifying ease, and ground forces deploying guerrilla tactics that rendered traditional combat strategies useless. In the Galactic Council chambers, there was silence. Representatives from hundreds of species sat in uneasy contemplation. The arrogance that had long defined the Council was shattered, replaced by a creeping realization that humanity had not only survived their brutal history, but thrived because of it. Their so-called outdated weapons were only a fraction of what made them formidable. It was their adaptability, their unpredictability, and their resolve that set them apart. Meanwhile, Earth remained eerily quiet. Humanity had no interest in gloating or seeking revenge. They had won the battle and sent their message. Earth was not to be conquered or bullied. But to the galaxy, this silence was unnerving. What were the humans planning? Were they preparing for retaliation? Were they already building an even more terrifying fleet? Speculations ran rampant. Back on Earth, humanity was, in fact, preparing, but not for war. They were rebuilding, reinforcing their defenses, and ensuring that their people remained united. The leaders of Earth had no illusions about the future. This victory had put them on the galactic map in a way no peaceful negotiation ever could. While some humans celebrated the newfound respect, others warned of the dangers that came with it. Among these voices was Captain Elias Drake, the human commander who had led the defense of Earth. In a rare address to the Galactic Council, Drake spoke plainly, "We do not seek dominance or expansion. Humanity's only goal is to ensure the safety and prosperity of our people. But if pushed, we will defend ourselves with everything we have, and we won't hold back. Let this be a lesson, not a threat." The Galactic Council, shaken but pragmatic, took Drake's words to heart. Treaties were drafted, trade agreements were signed, and for the first time in centuries, the galaxy experienced an uneasy but genuine peace. Humanity, once seen as a curiosity, was now viewed as an equal, one whose strength lay not in their technology, but in their unyielding spirit. But in the shadowy corners of the galaxy, not everyone shared this sentiment. The remnants of the Coalition fleet, humiliated and thirsting for vengeance, began to regroup. Whispers of secret alliances and experimental weapons reached the ears of Council spies. It seemed that some species were unwilling to accept humanity's rise without a fight. Unbeknownst to them, humanity had already anticipated this. On the outer edges of the Sol system, beyond the reach of prying eyes, a new fleet was taking shape. These ships were unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen, combining the ingenuity of human engineering with the lessons learned from the Coalition's own technology. Humanity wasn't just preparing for defense, they were preparing for the future. Captain Drake, now an advisor to Earth's Global Council, looked out at the stars from his command center. He knew the peace wouldn't last forever. The galaxy was vast, and its history was riddled with conflict. But he also knew that humanity had something no other species could match, an unshakable will to survive. As he turned to his crew, he issued a quiet order: keep building, keep learning. The galaxy hasn't seen what we're truly capable of yet. And when the time comes, we'll be ready. The Coalition's whispers of vengeance grew louder with each passing cycle. Hidden research facilities buzzed with activity, crafting weapons designed specifically to counter humanity's strengths. Spies infiltrated Earth, attempting to steal schematics or uncover vulnerabilities. But humans had grown more cautious, more vigilant. Every attempt at espionage was met with a calculated response, sending a clear message: humanity was watching. Meanwhile, Earth's outer colonies flourished, fueled by innovation and the shared determination to ensure survival. The hybrid fleet, born from the ashes of humanity's first galactic conflict, was nearly complete. These ships were sleek, adaptive, and capable of operating in conditions no other species could endure. They bore names that resonated deeply with human history: endurance, defiance, and resolute, symbols of the indomitable spirit that defined their creators. Among the ranks of humanity's defenders were the Special Forces. These elite soldiers underwent rigorous training, far surpassing even the high standards of Earth's regular forces. They operated under a simple creed: if you face the impossible, make it possible. Their missions were whispered legends among allies and enemies alike. Stories of how a single squad of special forces had disabled an entire alien dreadnought or infiltrated a fortified moon base became the stuff of nightmares for would-be adversaries. The Galactic Council, desperate to prevent another war, sent envoys to Earth. They begged for continued diplomacy, warning that another conflict could plunge the galaxy into chaos. Humanity listened, agreeing to negotiations, but they made it clear: our hand will remain outstretched for peace. But if struck, we will respond tenfold. While the Council sought peace, factions within it crumbled under the pressure of revenge-seeking coalition members. Secret alliances formed, pooling resources for a final strike against Earth. The coalition believed they had the element of surprise, their experimental weapons capable of overwhelming humanity's defenses. But they had underestimated the humans' resourcefulness once again. Far beyond the orbit of Neptune, humanity's hybrid fleet lay in wait. Earth's intelligence networks had intercepted the coalition's plans, identifying their rendezvous point. The decision was made: humanity would not wait for the fight to come to them. The battle that followed would become one of the most studied events in galactic history. As the coalition fleet emerged from hyperspace near an uninhabited star system, they found themselves surrounded. Earth's ships, smaller and fewer in number, moved with precision and coordination that the coalition's commanders could scarcely comprehend. The battle was not a chaotic clash, but a calculated dismantling. The Special Forces, deployed in drop pods, boarded coalition flagships, disabling critical systems and capturing key personnel. Human pilots executed daring maneuvers, outflanking their enemies and exploiting every weakness. Within hours, the coalition fleet was in disarray, their experimental weapons either destroyed or seized. Captain Drake, now an admiral, stood on the bridge of the Resolute, his gaze steady as the coalition's remaining forces surrendered. His voice, transmitted across all channels, was calm but resolute. This is humanity's final warning. We will not seek retribution, but we will not tolerate aggression. The choice is yours: peace or extinction. The Galactic Council convened in an emergency session. The coalition's leaders, humiliated and defeated, faced the harsh reality of humanity's strength. For the first time in centuries, the Council enacted sweeping reforms, disbanding rogue factions and establishing protocols to prevent such conflicts in the future. Humanity, once seen as fragile newcomers, now stood as a cornerstone of galactic stability. Their special forces became the model for elite units across the galaxy, their hybrid ships a standard for innovation. But humanity did not revel in their power. They used it to forge alliances, rebuild trust, and share the lessons of their hard-earned peace. Back on Earth, a new generation prepared to take the mantle of guardianship. They studied the mistakes of the past, vowing to protect not just their home, but the fragile peace that now bound the galaxy together. For humanity had learned that their greatest strength was not in their weapons, but in their unwavering commitment to survival, justice, and hope.